Governor Rick Scott of Florida got some good news. The Florida House wants him to keep paying about $8 a month for his health insurance, courtesy of the taxpayers of Florida. Governor Scott, a man who's built his political career on opposition to government-run health care and Obamacare, has, thanks to a vote from the Republican-controlled House of Representatives in Florida, moved one step closer to maintaining his current health care arrangement. The bill in question would keep premiums at $8.34 a month for individual coverage and $30 a month for family coverage for the rest of this year in 2016 for the governor. Rank-and-file employees, as well as state lawmakers, pay a little more, $50 a month for individual coverage or $180 a month for family coverage. But the bad news continues for the 800,000 low-income Floridians who would be able to enroll in Medicaid had it not been blocked by the very same Republican-controlled Florida House. As the Atlantic notes, Scott's position on the Medicaid expansion has vacillated over the years, but he is now, once again, against it. It should come as no surprise that Florida also never opted for a state-run health care exchange. It has a federally facilitated exchange, and if the Supreme Court rules against Obamacare in King v. Burwell, then Floridians who receive federal subsidies could lose those subsidies. More than 1.4 million Floridians have selected a health care plan through the exchange, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation. About 6 in 10 people enrolled through the marketplace receive subsidies nationwide, according to the Washington Post, citing federal data, a total of 6.4 million Americans. Joining me now, former senator and former governor of New Hampshire, Judd Gregg. And Mr. Gregg, your party, Republicans, have been referred to as the dog that caught the car or is about to catch the car if it gets the ruling it appears to want in King v. Burwell. What does the Republican Party do? What do Republican senators do if the Supreme Court invalidates those subsidies? What do you think they should do?
Well, I think you're going to see them come forward with a very aggressive and thoughtful approach to how we get health care to Americans, something that doesn't involve the massive bureaucratic snafus that the Obama plan has delivered. It doesn't involve losing your doctor. It doesn't involve losing your insurance. It doesn't involve massive increase in costs on small business.
That sounds like a lot.
Well,
I would love for there to be a magical pixie world where no one gets ill, but you actually have to come up with a concrete piece of legislation. Not
a magical pixie world at all. In fact, it was proposed prior to Obamacare being passed, a bill called CPR, which would have set up that type of a system where you would have essentially insured people for catastrophic care.
And no one would have lost their doctor under that plan, and there would have been no bureaucratic snafus?
Would have been a much more efficient and effective way to deliver health care than what we're dealing with today.
Based on what?
You can throw words out like magic pixie words, but, as a practical matter, if you're not willing to consider alternatives which are substantive, then you shouldn't be making those types of statements. This was a substantive alternative.
Right. So,
and I'm sure
what do you base
that you're
on
going to see a substantive alternative
what do you base that on?
Coming out of Senator Lamar Alexander.
What do you base that on, that it was more efficient?
Because it was, by definition, more efficient and less costly. If you look at the Obamacare proposal, almost all the representations that it put forward have failed. You don't keep your own doctor. The costs have gone up significantly. You lose your insurance. And more importantly than that, uninsured folks didn't get picked up in any significant numbers under the Obamacare proposal.
That is just not true. The uninsured rate has plummeted to a 15-year low.
No, it hasn't plummeted.
Yes, of course it has. Look at the Pew data.
It has not plummeted. It's gone from 44 million to 40 million. That's not a plummet.
No, that's not. And based on the Pew data, you think that's true?
Yes, that is true.
The rate of uninsured has gone down about 6 to 8 percentage points since Obamacare was effectuated in just about 2 or 3 years, right?
Well, 6 to 8 points from a $44 million person base is about 40 million people. So it's true.
Okay.
I wish you'd get your numbers right. Your numbers are worse than Obama's.
No. Those numbers are correct, right? I mean, the fact that
No, I mean, your ability to understand your numbers is worse than Obama.
Well, how about this? We'll show that graph after we're done with this, and we'll see who's right about this. But
I'm sure you will show a graph. I'm not sure it's going to be an accurate
We're just going to show
a graph.
We're going to show the polling on the uninsured rate. Former Senator Judd Gregg, thank you very much. Former Senator Judd Gregg and I of New Hampshire just had a little tete-a-tete about the record of Obamacare in bringing down the level of people who are uninsured. I said it had dropped by about 6 to 8 percentage points, and there you see, The percentage of people uninsured by quarter was 18% at a high before Obamacare is implemented. It goes down to 11.9%. That's a drop of about 6 percentage points, or about a third of the people were unemployed. If a third of the people were unemployed beforehand were 44 million people, well, then that's a lot more than 4 million people who now have health insurance, at least by my back-of-the-envelope math, sitting here live on television.